Memories. This is my old computer. As you can tell, it's the Dell Precision 3620. Yep, 3620. It houses a Xeon 1240 V5, so it's a Skylake CPU. And we also have a GTX 1050 Ti in here. We have 16 gigs of RAM, I think 2133 megahertz. Yeah, cat kind of focus, 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 focus. Yeah, the cat kind of nicked me, so if you do see that, yeah, I have a kitten. So anyway, yeah, this is the Precision 3620. 3620 used to be my old computer. It's still hanging in there. This is kind of just dedicated to a Linux PC. That's pretty much what it is now, as my current config sitting over here. Yeah, so we're kind of going to go over a few things. First up is upgrades. So I've definitely received a good chunk of upgrades, especially on the CPU department and GPU department as well. So I'll be right back because I have to show you that. So with multiple GPU changes, the GPU that was actually in this when I got it off of eBay was one of these cards. This is a Quadro K620. It's a low profile, so there's no need of a power bracket or a power adapter. It only has DisplayPort and DVI. So ignore the missing screws here. They kind of disappeared. So anyway, this is the Quadro K620. This is what originally was in this old Precision PC, because, well, these PCs are workstations. And this is kind of the Quadro. So the Quadro was originally in this, as I stated multiple times. What I did was stuck the my 1050 Ti, which currently was my my first official current good GPU, because I did have many GPUs before. First one I had was the GT710. Sucks, don't buy it. Then I had the 1030. Sucks, don't buy it. And then, of course, I got the 1050 Ti. Sucks, don't buy it. So anyway, my upgrade path kind of changed from there. I stuck with the 1050 Ti for a while. I got a processor. I think I got a no. Okay, so anyway, I stuck with the 1050 Ti for a while. I sold my PS4 and got one of these. Yeah, the 6500 XT. It's actually currently in here. Yeah, hide that for a minute. So yeah, here's the RX 6500 XT. This is the ITX version, because this is the only version that would actually fit in that case properly. So yeah, ITX version only requires a single 6-pin. So yeah, there you go, 6-pin by power color. So it has one HDMI and one DisplayPort. My current DisplayPort monitor is actually a Dell monitor, and it doesn't work on there. And I had to force a custom resolution on there. So anyway, that GPU was being actually kneecapped. Since the Precision is PCIe 3.0, and the specs on this GPU, I can't even close the fucking thing back. The specs on this GPU are, it only has 4 PCI Gen 4 lanes, which is fucking awful for bandwidth. So imagine plugging that into a PCIe 4.0 or 3.0 system. You're pretty much having an extreme bottleneck kind of bandwidth, or a memory bottleneck. So it's going to resort in hitching. It's going to resort in hitching, lower frames than usual, kind of improper use of resizable bar, which I actually couldn't use on this system because it didn't have above 4G decoding, which sucked. So anyway, I stuck with had the Xeon in here still. Christmas came around, I got some new RAM, which is the 2400 megahertz, which still have in there. I am getting an upgraded Intel XMP RAM soon. So came with there. I got that RAM, and then I also got the 7700K, which is currently in there. So 7700K is what I ran in here. It did hold off kind of well, but it was tough. Stuttery games, I basically had to hold on for, it was a long ass time until I could properly game. So my brother, this was a few months ago, so decided to buy a 1070 Ti from him. Sadly, this 1070 Ti does not work. This thing is huge, by the way. It is. This card currently does not work. A week of having it, it went out on me. It's dead. I don't know what the problem is. Maybe some sort of memory bank got scratched, but I've opened this thing multiple times trying to clean the damn thing, and it just doesn't work. One day, it kind of just went out on me, and yeah, I don't know what happened to it. It just doesn't work. I've tried, the hairdryer method where you just, stick the GPU on the ground and then, or pull all the shrouds and stuff on where you get the bare GPU die and then directly hit it with some heat on a hairdryer. I left it there for about, did it multiple times, left it there for about 30 minutes. Came back, still no damn power on this thing, still no display or anything like that. It was getting power, the fans were spinning, and the power's all plugged in, and it was plugged in properly to the motherboard. So fans were spinning, no power, and I kind of just cut the ghost for this. This GPU went out. It honestly kind of sucked because this GPU had 8 gigs of VRAM, and it was awesome to play Cold War on this thing. Yeah, it was definitely a weird trip going back to a NVIDIA card. So, yep, 1070 Ti went out. It kind of pissed me off, and actually this case, I originally wasn't going to use this case, but people that I won't name decided to, of course, give me a case and a motherboard. Very nice of them to do that. Decided to give me that for, of course, sticking the 1070 Ti in there. And of course, I have that case and motherboard in there, so honestly, I am very thankful that they did that because that allows for me to have much better upgrade paths and, of course, get a completely new motherboard and kind of just really dive into this custom building shit. So getting away from the OEM is probably the best thing that you can possibly get because these OEMs, they don't last long. There's not enough BIOS features or resources. There's not enough modern day BIOS features. There's not the upgrade path is very limited because you're stuck on a BIOS motherboard. You can't fit certain GPUs in there, so it's not gonna fit. You can't stick a big fucking hulking GPU in there that looks like a BBC GPU in there, unless you do some case modding, which I will actually show what I did to originally stick the 1070 Ti in there. It worked. Oh my god, but it was janky. Alright, I will actually show you what exactly I did. Currently, we are in the exposed innards of the Dell Precision. So in here is actually the old graphics card, the 1070 Ti, not 1070, 1050 Ti, and then of course the Xeon. So what I did was, I tried to remove this, and it didn't work. I did this at like fucking midnight at night. Tried to remove it. I got kind of far because I was able to break this bracket off, and I warped the metal in this, and also what happened over here, this broke off. So damn, that broke off, and the case was broken in two. And what I did was I actually fed the wires through the holes of here, and it gave me enough room to actually fit the 1070 Ti in there. It worked. The GPU worked. There was not enough cooling in there, and it was getting smothered by the OEM fucking case. It sucked. It was really janky. It did the trick though, but honestly, it was a hassle. I'll tell you that right now. It was a fucking hassle to stick that big hulking GPU in there and try to stick that damn thing in there to mod the case. So yeah, GPUs right here, the GTX 1050 Ti. Yep, keep saying that. Having to mod the case. That's why I don't recommend buying a one of those like OEM like PCs for your kids or whatever, because God, that's dusty right there. I see it. Ugh, gross. Anyway, that's I don't recommend buying a fucking BIOS computer for this very reason. You have to go to case modding because the GPU doesn't fit. you're going to be stuck with, of course, older gen hardware. Your RAM speed can only go up so much because there's no Intel XP on this damn thing at all. You can't overclock the damn fucking thing if you run a K-series CPU, which sucks. Another thing is, there's no airflow in these cases. There is nothing. Like, you have one fan and then the CPU fan, and that's it. There is absolutely no airflow in these things. You're also stuck with a puny power supply. Now, there is, of course. I did stick a custom power supply in here from Ares game, which was a 750 watt. Stuck it in there, ran it. I had to use some adapter or whatever to transfer the, even though that's fucked up, even though the to power up the damn thing, and it worked. Now, what do I have to say about, of course, buying an OEM? I don't recommend it. Like I said earlier, you're honestly better off just getting a just building from scratch and sticking with an iGPU for a while, because honestly, it's not worth the hassle going through a lot of this shit. It is OEMs, they suck. It's just the nature of it. It's just they just suck. And I mean, I wish Dell was more. They didn't use a lot of this proprietary shit, but they do. It's what OEMs do. They only want you to be locked into their ecosystem. They don't want you to mod the cases at all. Or here, let me shut this back. They don't want you to mod the cases at all. They don't want you to put custom graphics cards that are not supposed to be in there. They don't want you to change out the power supply. You have to hop through all these hoops, and at the end of it, it's not worth it, because you're still going to be stuck on that old aging CPU. You won't be able to overclock. You still will be stuck without the use of resizable bar, which I did mod in my current BIOS, and it is fucking amazing. You won't have resizable bar. You won't have tuning features in your BIOS that you can use to maximize performance. You don't have all this. You can't have your RAM speed go up higher than 2400 megahertz. So you're pretty much screwed. And your only choice left is to just buy a completely new computer, and that's exactly what happened. And honestly, I don't recommend OEMs at all. There might be better OEMs that actually don't have all this proprietary shit, but buying an older OEM today, like a PC like this, no, don't do it. It's not worth the hassle. Your kids are going to be, in the long run, they're going to be complaining why their Fortnite doesn't run well, and it's just going to be a big-ass headache. It's just, PC hardware in itself is just a headache. It will always be a headache, as it is for the enthusiast, the smart person, quote-unquote. And, yeah, it's the unfortunate truth of it. I know this video is a little weird and a little out there, but kind of just wanted to do a whole little OEM rant by also showing the struggles of changing out GPUs and all that other stuff. So anyway, I guess we'll kind of go into things. I guess we'll just wrap it up there, because I don't want to waste any more time, because complaining about OEMs for almost 15 minutes now is completely ridiculous, and I don't want to waste anyone's time. And I've kind of just been rambling on and on because I don't know how to end the video. Computers are tough, man. They're tough. This hobby definitely does require a lot of money, patience, and also just brain power. That's all I have to say. Don't buy an OEM PC that's old.